If you're in the market for a AP automation solution, then this video is for you. Now, again, granted, we all have so many choices, right? Software market is crowded. If you go to, let's say, a G2 or a Capterra and search for AP automation software, you get hundreds of listings. Now, who has time to go through each one of them and try to figure out which is the right solution for you, right? So in this video, I'm going to give you a simple 3-step process that you can use to shortlist the right solution that meets your requirements. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. My name is Sachin Sharma. I am the founder of Procure Desk, where we help growing companies automate their processes for purchasing and AP automation. Let's jump right in. Number one is, first of all, define your requirements. So what I mean by requirements, right? So if you just look for any generic solution for AP automation, it has to have the ability to upload an invoice. Now, granted, some solutions have the OCR capabilities, AI to automatically code the invoices and so on. Those are, I would say, must-have, right? Table stakes now from an AP automation solution standpoint. But what I would encourage you to do is look for not just invoice, but end-to-end process. Like before the invoice, there is a purchasing process that's happening, right? So if you think about just invoice, you have to send every invoice for approval before you can make the payment. But if you think about end-to-end procure to pay process, then if you have a purchasing or a PO system before that, you can have the AP system match the invoice automatically with the PO and receipt, for example. So in this case, if everything matches out, you really don't have to spend time on getting that invoice approved. That's how powerful this is. So if you think about end-to-end process, not just invoicing, I think that'll serve you best. But think about the top requirements, right? The key features that you need, the key use cases, what are the specific requirements around approvals? So don't just list and say, all right, it should do approvals. Of course, every system does. But what are your specific requirements regarding approvals? So those are step number one, is define those requirements, right? Number two is shortlist the vendors. Now, here is a simple process to shortlist down to 3 or maybe 5 max in terms of vendors. Number one is look for industry. Do they serve your industry, right? Or do they have a solution? If you are in, let's say, in biotech, construction, or you are a charter school, whatever you are, you should look for companies who have already served that market, so that they already have baked in the best practices. They know the use cases specific to your industry, and they know how to best solve that, right? Number two is size. There are many solutions out there, right? A company that is selling to a large clients like enterprise clients have a very different motion, have a very different price tag as compared to a company that is selling to small to medium-sized companies, right? Or a very small company. So look for a software company that matches your size. They sell it to your similar size companies, right? Number three is integration with their accounting system. And I think that is a must-have, right? So if you're going to use a third-party system for managing your invoices, the last thing you want to do is manually upload that invoice again in your accounting system, right? That defeats the purpose of automation. So it must have a integration, and integration should be seamless. So it shouldn't be like I need to download a spreadsheet and upload that into my accounting system. That is not automation. So when we say automation, it seamlessly goes to your accounting system without you doing anything, right? So those are the 3, I would say, criteria that you can use to further shortlist. Number 3 is test run the system. So a demo itself is not enough nowadays, right? Demos generally run 30 minutes. You can see the tool, briefly in terms of how it works, but how do you know if it matches exactly your requirements that you defined in step 1, which is your use cases? So the ideal way to do this is go for a 14-day trial or ask for a sandbox, whatever works for that vendor, so that you can now test your use cases. And who all you should involve in your testing? Of course, if you're the one selecting the system, you should be involved, but involve a 1 or 2 power users so that you can get the feedback from stakeholders earlier. And if there is any feedback, that can be incorporated right there and then, right? So that is step number 3. Those are the 3 main steps. Now, one bonus tip here, one common feature which many companies don't look for is cycle time reporting. So what do I mean by that? When you implement a software, you're implementing it to make your process better. One easy way to measure the ROI of that is how long does it take to do something. So how long does it take to approve an invoice? How long does it take to match an invoice? And if you don't have cycle time reporting, there is really no way for you to know whether your new process is working better or worse than your previous one. And if somebody comes asking for, what is the ROI of the system, you really have no way to show that. That's why you should always ask for the vendor who has the support for cycle time reporting. So just to summarize, here are the steps you should follow to find the right AP solution for your team. Number 1 is think end-to-end AP process. Number 2 is shortlist based on industry, size, and integration with your accounting system. Number 3 is test run and make sure that it actually solves your real life use cases and not just like a quick demo. Now, if you found this video helpful, drop a yes in the comments and see you in the next video.